I have 12 holdings in my ASX portfolio. And these 12 holdings are A2 Milk, ASX, carsales.com, Coles, CSL, Fisher and Paykel, Jumbo Interactive, Macquarie Group, REA, Xero, Webjet and VAS. In this little mini-series, we're going to talk about all these positions. So I go into detail on why I hold them and why they are into my portfolio and what my thoughts are around those companies. And we're going to start off with this video with a bit of a rundown on what you can expect. Hi, I'm Michael and we talk about investing and personal finance. And as always at the beginning, a quick disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor and I do not hold a financial services license. So everything you see here is just my personal opinion and you should not consider that as financial advice. So yeah, let's get started. With this video, we have a rundown on what I want to talk about with my shares, and I give you some ideas on my overall investing strategy and my portfolios. And next week, you can expect 5 videos. So a new video every weekday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, where I go into detail and where I talk about the individual stocks. Starting with the background of my portfolios. I have 2 main portfolios. One is my ASX portfolio here in Australia, and the other one is a portfolio that I hold in Germany, where I invest into German stocks and into international shares. But starting with the Australian portfolio. In my Australian portfolio, I usually have between 8 and 12 holdings, so different companies or ETFs. And this is really just within Australia. That was a little bit different in the past. I was holding also companies that have their location in America, so US, but I concentrated this portfolio now just on Australia. And I try to do a really good research on the holdings that I have in that portfolio. So I'm really aware on what's going on with the companies that I hold. I look into their financial statements and I try to do as much research as I can about those companies so that I'm able to somehow predict what they could return in the future. And probably because it's obviously very interesting on what was the performance of my portfolios. And with the ASX portfolio, I was actually quite lucky, especially this year. I hope I could say it had something to do with all the research that I do, but obviously can't say that for sure. However, the ASX performance from year to date, so from the beginning of 2020 until now, was that the ASX lost roughly 8% in performance over that time. And my ASX portfolio actually did quite well. I was able to achieve a performance of plus 20% in that same time frame. So from the beginning of the year, basically 1st of Jan until now, plus 20%. And I'm really happy with that. So that's pretty good. And we later see on where that performance was coming from, on what holdings have actually contributed there. The German portfolio is a little bit different. As I mentioned already, this has international holdings and holdings within Germany and one holding in Netherlands. It's way more diversified, so I have way more holdings in that portfolio, but that's also one thing that I would like to change. So at the moment I actually have a really large number of different investments, so probably around 40 investments in that portfolio, and it's obviously hard to keep track on what all those companies are doing, and I'd like to get a much better and deeper idea about how the financial situations of those companies is and what the estimated financial future is of those companies. But still, even with such a broad diversification in that portfolio, I was able to outperform the two indices that I could take as comparison. This would be the DAX, the main German index, or the S&P 500, because it also includes a lot of international stocks. The DAX year to date has -1%. The S&P 500 was year to date +6%, and my portfolio performance was +11%. So quite good in terms of performance, but still not very happy with the overall structure of my portfolio and how it is balanced. So what will I talk about in all those videos that are coming up where I talk about the individual holdings? So we definitely talk about when I purchased into those companies and what the performance was that I was able to achieve, and I talk about the performance, and we look into the chart over the last 5 years and the last year, how the company was doing performance-wise. And yes, we look into some facts from those companies, some financial numbers that I will present, and the financial outlook that the companies predicted, so that we get a bit of an idea on how the companies are doing. And I mentioned already there's one ETF in my portfolio, my ASX portfolio. We talk about what that ETF is, what it includes, and what I want to do with that ETF. And yeah, some ideas that I already have for that portfolio that we might cover in future videos is that I think about reducing the number of holdings again a little bit more. I'm concentrating really on knowing what investments I have. And this comes really over my development, obviously, and that a lot of the very great investors that we have nowadays, yes, they stay diversified and they have obviously tons more experience than I do, but however, they focus their investment always on companies that they really know and where they have done enough research on. So yeah, just recapping so that you all know what to expect from the future videos. There will be 5 videos on every weekday next week. In the first video, I cover my first 2 holdings, which is A2 Milk and ASX. So I go through my list in an alphabetical order. And yeah, we're going to talk about the details of those 2 companies. So the first video you can expect on the upcoming Monday. Thanks for watching this video and for listening to me where I explain my current portfolio structure. Like the video and subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already. And yeah, really looking forward to see you in all the upcoming videos. Until then, bye.